Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. We've got a real special build today. Here we have an original Hot Wheels Oldsmobile 442. Now these cars are incredibly expensive to purchase online and on eBay and places like that. One of my subscribers sent this car to me and said, Paul, I understand that these cars are expensive and I paid a lot of money for it. He says, but I'm going to keep this in my collection. Can you please restore this car to make it look like it did when it was in the package? And I said to him, I will do the best I can, sir. Now the thing is, like I said, is these things are incredibly expensive, so you don't get to do these very often. But this is going to be a fun build. Please follow along. Grab your favorite adult beverage and sit back as we restore this Oldsmobile 442. I've already got the post drilled out on the car, so we'll take it apart and we'll do our autopsy. That's weird. It's got toothpicks in it. I don't know why, and I don't understand. But that's one of the weirdest things I've ever found in a car. Now here's the body. We're going to take off the stripes. Hood works great, no broken pins there. The toning on this car is absolutely incredible. It's in really, really bad shape. Now upon further inspection of this autopsy, I did find out that the pillars were broken, and we'll get into that in a bit. The interior looks good. It just needs to be cleaned up with some soapy water and a toothbrush. The glass is actually in pretty good shape, so we'll polish that up and make that look good. Here's the base. We'll replace the tires. Got some carpet stuff in there. The base looks horrible. We're definitely going to have to clean that up and polish it up, but it'll look good. Well, I definitely got my work cut out for me here. Let's move on. Okay, like I say, here's the body. We still have to drill out the post the rest of the way. We'll take off the wing off the back, and I do have a brand new replacement if I need it, but that looks like it's in pretty good shape. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell so you can be alerted to any future videos that come out. Now, when you get a car like this and you've got decals or vinyl stickers and stuff like that, go ahead and take those off before you dip it in the embalming fluid or your paint stripper. This will allow the stripper to get down to the paint quicker, and if you leave those stripes on there, it will inhibit the paint stripper from getting down there, and it'll take you a lot longer to strip your car. And there's today's tip from your Uncle Paulie. Let's go ahead and move on. Now we got the car ready to put in the embalming fluid, or aka citrus strip. Knock off the excess or take a brush and brush off the excess. You don't need all that on there. And then put it out to let it set and let the paint stripper do its magic. Let's move on.
Someone is being exhumed.
That's after it's sat in the paint stripper probably for about 30 minutes. Let's get this scrubbed up, cleaned up, brush it up with degreaser, and move on. Alright, look at all the toning on there that I was telling you about. Now, the post here is also bent and it's broken, so please be careful. Here I'm using an abrasive wheel. It's like a Scotch-Brite pad, and I'm going to go through and remove as much toning as I possibly can. Now again, if you have a hood that opens or doors that open, etc., Make sure you hold those down with your finger as you're using any kind of Dremel or like that, because if it grabs a hold of it, it could snap it open and break the pins that hold the door or the hood or whatever closed. Now these abrasive wheels, they do wear out fairly fast, usually one per car. Now this one here, the green one that I had already used that on something else, so I decided to use it up. But it does do a good job of taking away your toning or any discoloration or anything like that. Now I buy these in bulk. I get them usually at 100 at a time in a bag. Now if you check out in the comments my Amazon Marketplace page, you can find these abrasive wheels there and order them off of my Amazon page. Now, if you order something on my Amazon Marketplace page, I only get a few pennies off of there because I'm what's called an influencer. But it saves you having to search for it. So check out my Amazon Marketplace page. The link is in the comments. Copy it and paste it to your web browser. Now we're going to go back in and we're going to hit up some of the rougher spots with the steel wool. Now here we're going to address this pillar. It's bent and there's not too much you can do with it because if you look really close at the bottom, it's also cracked. If you try to bend it or straighten it or anything, folks, it's going to break. Now unless you're prepared to fix a new one on there with a cotter pin, then don't attempt it. So all I did was strengthen it up with some super glue. Now we're going to use the flits. We're going to polish up this car to a high shine and get it ready for some Spectre Flame paint. I love this product. Now if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I love this product. Not only is it good for metal, folks, but it's also good for plastic. I've been using flits recently to polish up my windshields, etc., and man, does it work good. Now again, polishing, if you've got something that opens, hold it closed with your finger while you buff it out because that wheel will grab it and snap it right off. Now only use a little bit of the flits. If you use a big old gob, it's going to take a while for it to do its magic and you're just wasting product. A big tube like this will last you months. And it's, like I said, it's an excellent product and I recommend it highly. This is a lot of fun for me. It's very rewarding when you start going into your car here and start polishing it up and making it look really shiny. Now when you're buffing around any part that's broken, like that broken pillar and like that, be careful because again, if it'll catch it, it'll snap it. Now, here's a great deal. The nice folks from Flits are offering 20% off exclusive to Diecast Graveyard customers. So in the comments, there's a link. Grab the link, copy it, paste it into your web browser, and go to the Flits website. If you use this code and then type in the word graveyard, you'll get 20% off of any Flits product. Folks, you can't beat a deal like that. 20% off of any Flits product. So use that link. Use the code graveyard when you go to checkout and you'll get 20% off your entire purchase. Fantastic deal from the nice folks at Flits. So go in and get all the hard to reach places too as best as you can. And like I said, it'll remove all your toning and everything along with the Scotch-Brite wheels that you use and the steel wool, and you'll get a really super nice finish. And of course, the better your finish, the better your Spectre Flame paint is going to look. Now, if it looks like it needs to be polished a little bit more, put a little bit more Flits on there and polish it up. It'll look fantastic, I promise you. And you don't have to use your Dremel on the highest setting, okay? All you're going to do is burn the product. So put it down to a lower setting and just let the polish do its magic. That's looking super good. I'm going to put a little bit more on here on the roof and maybe spread it down to the doors and stuff too. But it's going to look great. I'm loving where this is going. Let's go ahead and move on. After I polished it up, I scrubbed it down with Zep degreaser and got in all the cracks and crevices. Now we're going to come back in with some Spectre Flame Green. We're going to return this to the original color the car came with. Now I get my paints at the Redline shop. You'll love their products. All the Spectre Flame paints, the replacement wheels for your Redlines, the decals, and many, many other things. Check out the Redline shop and you won't be sorry. They have great products there. Put on your mist coats. Make sure you go the entire length of the vehicle. You don't want to do little dribs and drabs as you're painting little spots, okay? Get a nice smooth finish over the entire area.
Meanwhile, back in the graveyard.
Now let's take a look at the base. I've drilled out the post that holds the wheels in place. We'll set that aside. Here we're going to take the base and put it in a mixture of lime-away and water, a 50-50 mixture. This will help remove the oxidation off the base of the car. Now you don't want to leave it in longer than 3 minutes, maybe 3 to 4 at the most, but you got to watch it because if you leave it in too long, it'll make the base look worse than it is right now because it'll turn it entirely black. So put it in there and start your timer, but again, keep an eye on it. If it looks like it's cleaning up really well, then take it out and scrub it down. Again, usually about 3 minutes. Now this one here, I think I maybe went 2.5 minutes and it looked like it was clean enough, so I went ahead and pulled it out. But you're just going to have to use your own discretion. Here I've sped everything up. Now I'm taking a brass brush and I'm scrubbing it down. If you use a steel brush, you're liable to scratch your surface, so this is why I like to use the softer metal of a brass brush. I got it out, cleaned it up, polished it up with the flits, and that's how it turned out. What a nice change. That's going to look fantastic. Alright, here's the wheel assembly. Now all 4 of these wheels are the cap style wheels. They've got a little edge on the inner portion of the tire. So you run it over with your razor and you push your blade in there and then give it a twist and you'll be able to pop that wheel right off. Run it to the edge, push down, roll it back and forth a little, give it a twist. Same thing on all 4 tires. Now there's 2 large meats in the back and 2 medium meats in the front. Now the cap style wheels only come in 2 sizes, medium and large. There we go. Now let's go ahead and get those brand new meats on there. There we go, zoom back out. Here's the large ones. Snap that in place. Ooh, what's this? Huh. Looks like somebody tried to do a makeshift repair with a piece of tape. Yeah, the end pin is broken off that wheel, so we're going to have to fix this. That's the first time I've ever come across anything like that. Wild. Well, let's get out the fence pliers and fix it. Here I've got the fence pliers, and we're going to put that little wire in there, and we're going to squeeze and flatten out the end. Now you don't want to squeeze it in too far because your wheel won't go out far enough to be able to roll freely. And if you put it on the very edge, when you go to pinch it, it'll just snap out. There we go. Take that little burr off there. Good to go. Alright, let's continue putting the meats on. Snap them in place. Now here's the 2 medium ones from the front. 9 times out of 10, they'll just snap right in place. Again, these are replacement wheels. Now on the rare occasion, they're a little bit loose. Just take a little bit of modeling glue. Not super glue, but modeling glue. And put just a drop around the edge and put your wheel on and it'll hold it in place. And the modeling glue is not strong enough to where if you want to later on take that wheel back off, you still can. So that's why you don't want to use the super glue. Plus the super glue, it gives off fumes and it will put a white dusting over your wheel, and sometimes that's hard or difficult to get off. So use the modeling glue, like Tester's model glue or something like that. All right, now we got the base back in and they look good. We're going to take a little bit of the super glue and we're going to put it over the post in the middle to hold the wheels in place. And just enough to hold it in place. Nice. Now we're going to come in with the accelerator and put just a couple drops on there. I put my accelerator in one of these little feed bottles with the tube on it because then I can direct exactly where it goes and I'm not spraying it all over the place. So that's why I put it in these tubes with the needles on them. And you can get these on my Amazon Marketplace page. Check the link in the comments. Okay, we got all of our pieces together now. Here's the body. Man, that beautiful Spectre Flame paint from the Redline shop looks absolutely fantastic. Follow the directions on the bottle when you're mixing it up. Here's the base, all polished up and ready to go with those brand new wheels from the Redline shop. That's fantastic. They look great. Here's the windshield. We polished it up with the flits. That looks fantastic. Here's the interior all cleaned up. And here's the original wing. It's in good shape, so we're going to go ahead and put that back on. Let's put it together and have our reveal. And here's what we started with. An original Oldsmobile 442. Man, I'll tell you, I was a little bit hesitant to accept this job here because these cars are so expensive. They really are. But when the subscriber got a hold of me, he says, Paul, this is staying in my personal collection and I want to have this restored so it looks nice in my display. And I said, okay, not a problem. He understood that if you open up a car that's expensive like this and hard to get, that, yeah, I mean, when you restore it, it looks great and looks fantastic for your collection, but the value does come down because you cracked it open. But you know what? The results speak for themselves. This car turned out fantastic, and I was very pleased with it. I just don't want you purists out there to say, oh, well, you ruined the value of the car. I know that. With this particular car, I agree with you, but it looks great. And here's what we got to. Look at that beautiful finish, that beautiful green Spectre Flame paint from the Redline shop, brand new wheels from the Redline shop, polished up with the flits. It looks fantastic. And man, I'll tell you, this is going to look excellent in my friend's collection. This was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed this. I was a little bit nervous, like I said, because I know that these cars go for anywhere from $400 to $1,000, but this one was in pretty rough shape. Now, the post, like I said, I did straighten it up some with a center punch and a hammer, but I didn't want to take it too much farther because I was afraid it was going to snap. I went ahead and reinforced it, put some glue in there to hold it to the roof. Now, I'm not going to put the decals on, but I am going to send the decals with the car, so this gives the subscriber the option to put them on if he wants to. He wasn't too sure he wanted to, but I'm sending them anyway. Folks, this was a fantastic build. I really enjoyed it, and I hope some of the tips I gave you really help you out. Thank you for subscribing to Diecast Graveyard. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I read every single comment. My name is Paul with Diecast Graveyard. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and cheers.